Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Energize Your Online Business podcast. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. As always, I'm joined by my very fabulous co-host, Kate Sitars. Hello, Kate.
Hello.
Hello. And Kate and I have the pleasure today of being joined by an amazing business owner, a fabulous Circuit Cell Systems student, and just an all-around fantastic person, Fiona Keary. Hi, Fiona.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being on the podcast. I'm super excited to dig into your story and, more importantly, to share it with everybody who is listening and or watching. So now I know a bit about you and about what you do, but for those who are listening and watching who don't, what is your business? What is your background? Tell us all about yourself.
So I am the CEO and founder of an online styling business called Style Liberation. And we help women 35 plus to create a wardrobe full of outfits that they absolutely love without having to start from scratch. And we do that through our one-to-one services, our virtual styling programs. We also have an online program called the Style Transformation and a membership called the Super Stylers as well.
I love it.
If you're not watching on YouTube and you're listening to the podcast, go on YouTube to check out Fiona's outfit because it's fabulous. So
yes. Well, and before you got on, Fiona, Kate was just saying, I need to and I feel like there's
fortuitous.
And I just feel like business owners as a whole were perpetually thinking, what am I going to really, a little embarrassed. I went with my basic sweater today. It's very cold in Massachusetts, but perpetually just having to look at ourselves in the camera all the time and come up with a different look for photo shoots and a different look for Zoom calls and a different look for the 60,000 different reels that we have to record that makes complete and total sense. Why you would be as in demand as you are. How did you get into business?
Well, in my previous life, I was actually an accountant, who absolutely loved fashion but had no idea how to pull it together. And I show a lot of that in our before and after photos. So I was living and working in London at the time in banking. I was working in banking at the time. And one of my friends took me along to this wonderful Scottish woman called Morag to have my colours done. And then that just kick-started everything. I was obsessed, like absolutely obsessed. So anyone who visited me from Australia, I took to see Morag. All my friends' partners, my husband came along, and I sat in on every session because I could see that transformation for people, and I knew how much of a change it made for me as well. And Morag turned to me one day, and I was already having an early midlife crisis. And Morag turned to me and she said, why don't you do this? And I'd already been dabbling a little bit thinking, maybe I'll do interior design. Maybe I'll do something. I knew I want to do something creative. And I went, yeah, why don't I do this? And then that kick started. So I trained over in London and then knowing that I was going to be moving back to Australia and started the business back in Australia in 2008. And now we have 4 stylists. We work with women all over Australia. And I finally gave up my accounting accreditation a couple of years ago and burnt my suit, knowing, okay, it's good. I'm not going back there. This is where I'm meant to be.
Yes, absolutely. And do you end up working primarily with business owners or with executives or?
Yeah, it's a mix. So I guess that we started out very much focusing on sort of those business owners and C-suite. But what we actually realized, our women, it's more about they're going through some sort of transition. And that transition might be they're returning to work after having kids, or they're going for a new job or changing career, or they've got a promotion. So they're sort of the transitions they're going through. And then we also have a lot of transitions where kids have grown up and the whole focus has been on family. And now it's like, you know what? I want to focus on me now. And the other transition is into retirement. So we've got women who have been suited and booted all of their lives, and all of a sudden they've gone into a more relaxed environment and they don't know what to wear anymore. And I guess that's the thing, like, what do I wear now? And especially as our body changes as well through life. And that is going to happen. No matter who you are, as we move through life, things are going to change for us. Our bodies and lifestyles changes. And that's where we get stuck. Because what used to work for us, like when we were teens, 20s, early 30s, all of a sudden it's like, hold on a minute, what's happened here? I don't know how to dress this anymore. What do I do? So we find it's more about that transition when things that used to work don't work anymore.
What you feel confident in at a certain point, I feel like for me has
Absolutely.
completely changed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, our lifestyles change over time. And what we used to like may not be exactly the same. And that really comes down to what we call style personality. So that really can move. We'll have an underlying base throughout our life, but we'll lean into more of one or the other. Like if I think about when I was more corporate and that more suited and booted, I love like a structured dress with heels and a bag and things like that. But when I had kids, that wasn't going to cut it at the playground. Can't go down a slide in a, bodycon tailored dress. Doesn't work.
You could, but it's going to be very uncomfortable.
Very, very uncomfortable. It's just not going to work the same way. So it's navigating that, still being you, because that's the thing, that sort of elevated style was still me. But how do I be me when I need to be practical running around with two boys? So it's all of those sort of changes. How do we still be us no matter the season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm working remote now. I have a bin of pants from an office environment that I'm like, I can't let go of, that I need to, as we're talking, I'm like, it's time. It's been 10 years, I think.
Can I just say, having a little ceremony really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ceremony to let it go really helps. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
I might do a fashion show for myself. It's just like one last, like, oh yeah, these look good. All right.
Do it. Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Farewell.
Yes.
Yeah. So now how do people, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but people work with you one-on-one, you said, and then also there you have a course. Is that mostly a DIY or is there some coaching elements involved?
So we've got sort of 5 steps that we work with our clients. And the 5 steps are their style personality. So that's the key to everything. That dictates everything that you'll do. We then do colour analysis. So we actually do colour analysis virtually for people. The 3rd step is body architecture analysis. So again, what we get people to do is to take photos, complete questionnaires, take measurements and that type of thing. And then we pull it all together as part of what we call the mix and match step. Before then they move on to how to shop to fill those gaps that you've identified that you've got in your wardrobe. So in the new course that we created as part of going through the circuit sales system, we've had a live component to our previous rounds of live launching. But for circuit sales system, what we're doing is we're doing it without the live coaching. However, we've got video modules, Q&A type interaction. But yes, it's still personalized because we are actually doing that analysis for people as well. And they get very detailed results and resources and tools as part of that too.
I love that you mentioned that because I think that sometimes people think, all right, when I move from one-to-one or when I move from a live cohort, that I can't provide the same level of service, that they're not going to get the same. And it's not true. They can still get that personal feeling and getting Q&A answers. That's really what people want fundamentally. Yeah.
So what's the experience been like for people that have been going through this new model that you've created through the circuit sales system?
Yeah, it's been great. And I guess we were probably a little concerned because we've always sort of run this live. So where it's been much more interactive, we've had live style clinics and all of that type of thing in a dedicated Facebook group. But it's been really great to sort of get feedback through email and questions through those sort of formats. But the other thing is that actually leads into what's called our Superstyler membership. And that's been the really interesting thing in terms of seeing the conversion from our circuit sales system, our new evergreen, I guess, over to Superstylers. And that has been quite a nice conversion rate through to that as well. So it's been quite a nice pathway for our clients to take because we do want them to come over to Superstylers. Superstylers has lots of really fabulous resources. Like we do a quarterly style file where we do classify over 5,000 items in store right now by style, personality and colour palette. So it's like every quarter they get a shopping list that's tailored for them, sent to their inbox. So it's almost like that next step. Hey, you've gone through this, you're looking to fill the gaps. here's the next step that you can take now. Then that's where all the live stuff also happens as well over in Super Stylist. So it sort of makes a little bit more sense in terms of that too.
That's nice. It's a really nice flow. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. So since you have moved over to the circuit sales system model, how have the results been for you?
Yeah. So we opened our circuit at the end of January, and we went out to our warm audience, and having opt-ins, we ended up with, for those that opted in, we ended up with a 7% conversion on that in terms of circuit sales, so we were like, this is fantastic. This is really, really great. And then we went out to our whole list and just put them through the circuit as recommended. And so we ended up with 18 sales in total through our warm audience and the entire list. And then we've been working on organic. And so at the moment, we've got a conversion rate of around I'm just having a look, about 3.4%. So we're working on that at the moment to tweak that. Now, I do have a confession. We did turn it off because we had already committed to a live launch in March. And so it's really interesting. Part of the reason that I did Circuit Sales System is we did a launch last September. And we had a 2% conversion on that launch, which was way down on where we had been previously. We had committed to this next launch in March. And so it's really interesting to see in that launch that we had less in our conversion rate again. So it was higher than last time. We used some of the principles from Circuit Sales System in terms of that, but it was still lower than our organic that we've been getting with Circuit Sales System. So again, we're getting right back into Circuit Sales System now because we've done 2 live launches now and we're comparing it as well to the circuit sales. So for us, it's the way forward.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that the launch didn't perform the way that you hoped it would, but I'm very glad to hear that the circuit sales system is performing the way that you want it to. Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I would say, like, with the live launch, it wasn't the, oh no, what am I going to do? Which was what it felt like last time because I know that I've got this system. I know that I'm not waiting until the next launch. And we made tweaks from the last launch. But the thing is, you're waiting 6 months to do that next launch and you don't know if those tweaks are going to work. Whereas now, what I know with what we've got, I can tweak it every week to see those improvements, to see, okay, if we do this, how does that impact our opt-ins? How does that impact our conversions? So at the moment, I'm really focusing on, okay, we're getting people through that circuit. How do we up that conversion? Because I'm aiming for a conversion of 4 to 5%. That's where I want to get to. So what do I need to do either in the light bulb video, either in our sales page, in our emails? So it's all of those things, but I can focus on those on a weekly basis and I can see it in real time. And that is absolute gold. Absolute gold. I'm not waiting 6 months to go, is this going to work? Let's see. I don't know. That's quite stressful. That's really stressful.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, and then even when it happens, it's like, which one of these things that I did made the difference?
Yeah.
Or did
will
it make a difference
again?
too? Yeah. Is it a positive difference? Is it a negative? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other really interesting thing that came up, especially not the last launch, but the launch before, which sort of prompted me to change how we're doing things, was I interviewed people who bought the program and I interviewed people who were like really super engaged throughout that launch process but didn't purchase. And the feedback was around timing. And especially if someone really wants to make a change in what they're doing in terms of their style, their wardrobe, they don't necessarily want to wait 6 months. They want to do it now. They're researching now. They want to do it now. Now's the time. So that was really, really good, especially our sort of women and our market. They do travel and we tend to do the launches at sort of peak travel times in Australia. And so it was like, oh, that might not be working either for us. So, yeah.
Well, and I
That's
imagine you work with women from all over the world. Is that the case?
Yeah, we do have clients in other parts of the world as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, certainly the US to Australia is something that we struggle with as well.
time-wise, yeah.
Trying to find a time for calls or that kind of thing. So I can imagine I certainly understand the complications that can add to live events as well. I mean, unless you are available to be on camera 24 hours a day, it's really hard to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
traveling Thursday, and there's a webinar I wanted to attend. They're like, there will be no recording, and you have to attend live. And I was like, oh, you need a circuit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been gold.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, and I don't know if you are even comfortable revealing, but as you're moving forward with the circuit and certainly testing and tweaking, which is exactly the right thing to do, good for you. Do you have any bigger goals for your business now? Now, as you're getting to that place where you're not relying on the launches, you have that more steady stream of income. Do you have any ideas for what you're going to do next?
Yeah,
so comfortable sharing.
Yeah, so our aim very much is to, at this stage, we're aiming to get 5 people to purchase a week. That's what we're aiming for. And if we're looking at that conversion rate, we're looking to have at least that 100 people through the circuit a week. So we're very much at the moment working on that. And I guess for us, it's really aimed to build our membership up to 500 people. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we're sitting at just over 300 people in our membership. So we want to get to 500 by the end of the year. And then our next goal is to get to that 1,000 mark in terms of our membership. We love our members. It's such a beautiful community. So that's where we really want to grow things. And in order for people to be part of that community, we do need them to have gone through those fundamental things such as style, personality, and color palette to make the most of the membership. So that's sort of where we sort of work and we're aiming towards with our business. So it's really to get to that 1,000 member mark for us.
That's fantastic. That makes such complete sense. And just as a business owner, yes, it makes sense. But I will say just as a consumer, it makes sense that, okay, I learned this here. You give me the fundamentals and certainly I put it into action. But then we always need new clothes. Sometimes we just crave new clothes, but generally we need new clothes as well. And we need to keep refreshing what we're wearing. And so that makes complete sense. I love that business model. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So
it's dangerous, can I say, just putting it all together. I have to put the blinkers on and go, right, I'm okay, shut it down, send it out, don't have a look. It's very dangerous.
I think I'd be emailing my accountant every week saying, okay, are you sure I can't write this off? Because I'm in the fashion business. So it seems to be like
not allowed.
Checking in again. I know you said no last time. Maybe this time it's different.
Although the Australian government has allowed handbags / laptop bags to be tax deductible. And, as long as there's a laptop area in a beautiful bag, you can actually claim it. Yeah, it's great.
You could technically
we do a lot of
a laptop.
Yeah. So we do promote a lot of bags at the end of financial year. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll look into that for me before I file my taxes.
Exactly.
Well,
I got a very nice bag that does fit a laptop. Well, I need to look and see if we have that.
Yeah.
A write-off.
I love it. I love it. Fiona, this has been so much fun to chat. Also, I know Kate and I are both like,
I'm going to go sign up for the light bulb video.
Yes.
So
I have a feeling that people listening and watching are going to feel the same way. So how can they find you? How can they start working with you?
Yeah, so we're over at styleliberation.com.au. So if you pop over there, everything that you need to know and see, it's right there.
Very exciting.
We will link to that in the show notes. So if you're,
make it nice and easy. One click. Yeah, excellent. Well, Fiona, this has been super fun to chat with you. I'm sure we'll get back in touch again soon so we can get your updates and see how it's going as your membership grows and as your conversions grow as well. But thank you so much for sitting with us and talking through and sharing your journey with us. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. And so with that, we will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Do you want to learn how to sell and scale your offer on autopilot every single day without the chaos of live launching or the low conversions of evergreen? Who doesn't, right? Get our free on-demand video training at circuitsalessystem.com/free. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to make sure you never miss a video. We'll catch you next time.